Hey guys, this is Heretic. I know it can be brutal out there. Your castles get ransacked, your troops get destroyed. You wake up with no resources and it seems impossible to recover. In this video, we'll go over how you can survive the long night. But before we get started, please take a minute and like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Doing this simple thing makes it possible for me to create content like this and offer giveaways several times each month. Later in this video, I'll give an update on this channel and some of the upcoming videos and giveaways coming your way. All right, with that, let's get started.
Count up the loot, call up the troops. We coming through, we coming through.
All right, click your drill grounds and then go to marching army. On the top right, you'll see my wounded. This is your hospital cap. There's another way to get to this, but this is the best way to me. So that is the amount of troops that you can have within your castle when someone attacks that you will not lose. So there's different things you can do to store the rest of your troops. One of them is to put them into the Alliance castle. So what I like to do, what I recommend is you put your worst troops, you hide them. You keep your best, in my case, 200,000 troops in your castle. Everything above that needs to go over to wherever you're going to put it. So in this case, I'm going to put them into the Alliance castle. So you can see here, I'm going and I am going to pick the worst troops I have, the lowest level non-PvP troops. So maybe in the beginning of the game, that's mostly your cav that you're using to farm with, right? You want to go ahead and move all of those and your lower tier troops over to your Alliance castle, but you want to keep up to your hospital capacity within your castle. And why? Because when those people attack you, you want to do damage to them, right? You want to kill them. So attackers lose troops by default. Defenders lose troops over their hospital capacity. So you can see again here, I have my wounded, 0 of 200,000. So one way, you could hide them in the Alliance castle. Another thing you can do is look for someone with the bubble. What we do is we have a channel for bubbles. When someone, shields for the night or shields because they're going to be away, they will actually post into a group. So I'm going to go ahead and pull back my troops from the Alliance castle now and give them a minute to get back home. And so typically I would be checking the one of our chats either in Discord and Line or within the game, and I'm looking for the bubble room. And in the bubble room, people will say, I'm going to be out for X amount of time. I'll be back at UTC whatever. My bubble will go off at that time. So if you want to hide your troops in my castle, go ahead. So I found Comet here. And so here, same thing. I'm going to reinforce him because I know his bubble is going to be on until I'm back. So I'm going to remove, clear out my march. I'm going to go down to the very bottom and I am just going to move. And in this case, I'm getting rid of my angels as well because I don't want to ever lose my angels because they are so valuable, to my attack. So I'm going to remove everything up to that 200,000. And so what I did was I take the 200,000 wounded hospital cap that I have, and I take my total number of troops, I subtract that, and I remove everything beyond that 200,000, and I send it away. So I'm getting right up into that, and now I'm going to send that over. And they're going to be protected because they're behind someone else's shield. So that person can't be attacked. You can also do this if you're being attacked. Even on a speed attack. Go ahead, send troops out. There's different things you can do. These are two different, really common, easy ways to hide your troops. One of them is to send them to the Alliance castle. The other one is to send it into someone else's castle, reinforce them if you know they're going to be shielded. The other thing you could do, let's say Comet wasn't shielded, but he's going to be active the rest of the day. I could reinforce him. Of course, let them know. Obviously, send them a message and just say, "Hey, man, I just sent you some reinforcements. Protect my troops. I won't be home until X time." That way, you're good. But let's say he didn't have a shield, but I know he's going to be active, or he's so much stronger than everybody else, I really don't have to worry. I might reinforce him with my extra troops anyway that way, and just take that chance. So one of us might get hit, but I don't know if both of us will get hit. So you just kind of have to play it. So what else can you do? You can shield. So go look in your alliance store. If you're donating to your alliance, you're getting some of your, some shields within there too that you could actually buy. Because I'm R5, R4, I can go ahead and go to the item list in the alliance shop and add those. If I wasn't and there weren't any of these shields there, I could actually request that they be added. So you can just buy the shield there. You can get the 8-hour shield, 2-hour shield, whatever you need, those two, for free, for merit, and then you could just shield while you're away. The other thing you could do is go into your city buffs. You'll still have to do that, and apply that shield. All right. So you see, I have a peace shield for 22 hours now. So I'm going to be safe. So there's 3 different types of shields. If you're not buying the 2-hour off of your alliance store, that would show up here if I actually had bought it. But you could get an 8-hour shield. You can get those from the alliance store, and you can get them within packs as well. But I'm showing you kind of the easier way. You have the 1-day shield. So do that. If you're just going to be gone for a full day, you don't want to have to worry at all. And then you have the 3-day shield. You could do this for KE, or if you're going to be away for the weekend, you could do it that way. Again, in the shop, you can get those shields, and it will come in handy, and it's a way for you to get those, in a very free way. So another thing that I do is I get this Glimmering gems pack. It's $6.99, and it gives you 8,400 gems. And with those gems, I'm able to shield, I think that's a total of 9 days if I wanted to, using those 3-day shields. That'll keep me going for a while. So if you want to, just take care of all the KEs for each month, you could spend that $6.99 and you'd be set for the whole month and some, as far as KEs. And then you would still have some left over just in case someone's attacking randomly on other days. Between that and the merit you'll get from just donating, you should never really have to worry about shields at all. The other thing I do, I get these, especially the Supreme card on my main. That's kind of one of the most important things that you do if you're going to spend, that you actually spend on, because it has this build benefits reduction. But it also gives you 1,000 gems per day. That right there, I mean, you could just hide away under your shield forever if you have that. I don't recommend that, because then you won't get it won't be fun. The game won't be fun. But at least you'll have the gems left over if you do need to shield. As you can see, I have quite a few gems there saved up. I do shield. I do buy shields. Even though, no matter how big you are and how strong you are and how your technology might be amazing, you still have a really big potential of getting zeroed. So it's always important, no matter who you are, to keep your troops safe. So if you look in your hospital, you can also see the max number of wounded that you can have. So how do you actually increase that? Well, one of them is, your hospital, which I was showing you, but you also have these medic tents. These medic tents are really important. So I keep them going all the time. So I keep, I have the value card, so I can actually do the schedules on these building upgrades for my medic tents. in my training grounds. So I keep them going. Look at this. I have every single possible construction setup going for medic tents. So it goes 24/7 so that I can upgrade all of my medic tents to my level. Same thing, hospital, up to your level. If you keep that going all the time, you will be over the kind of the standard is to at least have enough up to your one full march. So as you can see there, your medic tents for each level, they'll give you an extra 500 per medic tent of hospital capacity. While your hospital, let's see, will give you 1,000 per level. So, as you can see, if you're 30, that gives you a ton of potential there as far as your hospital capacity. All right. So you also have a sanctuary. So let's say you did have over your cap and you had some troops kind of pass away by getting hit. And this is for defense. A certain number of them will actually go to the sanctuary, and there's sanctuary quests and things where you'll actually gather this holy water that you can use to recover some of the troops that were killed. So that's if you make a mistake. I don't like to depend on the sanctuary at all. It's a percentage of your troops. And depending on the level of your hospital, you can actually get more troops that can be recovered by using the sanctuary. I mean, I've used it before, but I don't recommend even considering, this as a fallback for not actually taking care of your troops. But as you can see, you can get some help if you do take that big hit and you weren't prepared. Everybody tends to leave their guard down every once in a while. All right, so that is the sanctuary. All right. So another thing that you can do is you can get actual gear. So I'm going to show you the gear at level 25 that you can get. You can get the element belt will raise your wounded limit, depending on the level of it. I think it's the blood ring. Yeah, the blood ring as well will give you raise wounded limit. You can get a ton. You can really raise up that limit here. Same thing on the armored boots. You can still raise it the same amount, up to 17.6%, at level 25. So that gives you another, what is that, 52% above. So if you have, 100,000, that'll knock you up to 152,000. So that's quite nice. All right, and you can also look in your achievements, and you have this achievement called Plunderer, and in Plunderer you can raise your defense. I mean your raise wounded limit as well by 4, 5, 6% depending on the level of Plunderer you have. And I'm sorry, it's Forge Master on the Forge Master achievement. So keep that in mind. So if you have those, some orange equipment, you can get that achievement, and that will help you as well. So that gives you another, 5%. So another important thing before we finish is your embassy level. Your embassy level is really important because if you're away and you want your friends to help you, your friends will send their troops over to reinforce you when someone's attacking. And depending on the level of your embassy, is a number of troops that your friends can actually send. So if you have a very low embassy, only a few troops will actually be able to reinforce you, which is no bueno. All right, so I know this video is really quick and I'm talking really fast, but I hope it helps. I hope that you are able to save your troops, and make it through those difficult periods when you're not able to play. You know, you could be on a family vacation. You could be driving across town. You could be asleep, you know, if people do that, I guess. You know, you could be at the movies and you don't want to check your phone. So I hope that this helps and that you take care of your troops and you enjoy the game. All right, take care.